Insights for the Informed Investor.
Welcome to our insightful documentary about the life of Carl Icahn, one of the most renowned activist investors and influential corporate raiders of our time. Icahn has built his reputation as a tenacious deal-maker, shaking up corporate boardrooms and taking on some of the biggest companies in the world. His story is a testament to the power of persistence, sharp negotiation skills, and a fearless approach to investing. Join us as we explore Carl Icahn's journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most powerful voices in finance, reshaping corporate America one company at a time. The early years. Carl Icahn was born on February 16, 1936, in Queens, New York, to a middle-class family. His father, Michael, was a cantor and substitute teacher, while his mother, Bella, was a school teacher. Growing up in a modest household during the Great Depression instilled in Icahn a strong work ethic and an understanding of the value of money. His parents emphasized the importance of education and perseverance, qualities that would become integral to Icahn's future success. Icahn excelled academically, which led him to attend Far Rockaway High School, where he developed an early interest in reading and learning. His dedication to academics earned him a scholarship to Princeton University, where he majored in philosophy. Icahn found philosophy intriguing, particularly the works of Descartes and Spinoza, which helped shape his analytical thinking and his approach to solving complex problems. This background in philosophy would later prove invaluable in his investment career, as it taught him how to dissect arguments, think critically, and remain unfazed by uncertainty. After graduating from Princeton in 1957, Icahn enrolled at New York University Medical School, encouraged by his mother, who hoped he would become a doctor. However, after 2 years, Icahn realized that medicine was not his passion. He decided to leave medical school and took a series of odd jobs, including working as a cab driver and at a factory, before eventually joining the Army Reserve. The experience of taking on various roles taught Icahn resilience and adaptability, traits that would serve him well in the unpredictable world of finance. In the early 1960s, Icahn took his first steps into the financial world when he started working on Wall Street as a stockbroker. He joined Dreyfus and Company, where he gained first-hand experience in the markets, learned about securities, and began to understand the intricacies of corporate finance. Icahn's sharp instincts and willingness to learn set him apart, and he soon realized that Wall Street held immense opportunities for those willing to take calculated risks. Icahn also became skilled at options trading, a tool he would use effectively throughout his career to leverage his investments and increase his influence over companies. Establishing Icahn Company. In 1968, Carl Icahn founded his own brokerage firm, Icahn Company, with a focus on options trading and arbitrage. The firm quickly gained a reputation for its aggressive approach to trading and its deep understanding of market dynamics. Icahn's sharp instincts and willingness to take risks set him apart from others in the industry. He developed a reputation for spotting undervalued companies and using his skills to turn them into profitable investments. The firm's success allowed Icahn to accumulate the capital he needed to transition from a broker to an investor. Icahn's interest in undervalued companies eventually led him to shift his focus from being a broker to becoming a full-fledged investor himself. He began acquiring significant stakes in struggling companies with the goal of gaining influence over management and pushing for changes that would unlock shareholder value. This strategy of buying into companies and then agitating for change became the hallmark of Icahn's career. Icahn's philosophy was straightforward. Many companies were poorly managed, and by making operational changes or restructuring, he could create significant value for shareholders. His willingness to challenge the status quo and demand accountability from corporate executives became his signature. Icahn's early investments included acquiring stakes in companies such as Bayswater Realty and Capital Corporation, and holding them accountable for underperformance. He used his deep understanding of corporate finance to identify inefficiencies and opportunities for improvement. Icahn's aggressive tactics often earned him the label of a corporate raider, but he was unapologetic in his belief that shareholders deserved better returns and that corporate management teams should prioritize creating value for investors. The rise of the corporate raider. By the 1980s, Carl Icahn had made a name for himself as one of Wall Street's most feared corporate raiders. He targeted companies that he believed were underperforming or mismanaged, bought large stakes in them, and then pushed for changes such as cost-cutting, restructuring, or even selling off assets. Icahn was not afraid to take on established corporate giants, and his aggressive tactics often put him at odds with company executives and boards of directors. One of Icahn's most famous takeover attempts occurred in 1985 when he set his sights on Trans World Airlines TWA. Icahn successfully took control of TWA, marking one of the most high-profile hostile takeovers of the era. He implemented a series of changes aimed at making the airline more profitable, including cost-cutting measures and selling off valuable assets to raise cash. Despite Icahn's efforts, the airline struggled in the years that followed, partly due to industry-wide challenges and increased competition. Nevertheless, the TWA takeover solidified Icahn's reputation as a bold and ruthless investor who was willing to do whatever it took to maximize value. Throughout the 1980s, Icahn continued to target companies across various industries, from oil and gas to consumer goods. He took significant positions in companies such as Texaco, Phillips Petroleum, and USX Corporation, where he applied similar strategies to force changes and unlock shareholder value. Icahn's approach often involved using his stake to demand seats on the board of directors and pushing for significant strategic shifts, such as spin-offs or asset sales. His activism was not always well received by company management, and he faced criticism for his aggressive tactics. However, Icahn remained steadfast in his belief that shareholders had the right to demand accountability and better performance from corporate leaders, evolving into an activist investor. As the 1990s approached, Carl Icahn began to transition from being known solely as a corporate raider to being seen as an activist investor. While his approach remained aggressive, Icahn began to focus more on advocating for changes that would improve companies' long-term value rather than just seeking quick profits. He developed a strategy of acquiring large stakes in companies and then using his influence to push for operational improvements, better governance, and more efficient use of capital. Icahn's activism often involved demanding changes in corporate leadership, restructuring company operations, or pushing for spin-offs and divestitures to unlock value. His methods, while sometimes controversial, were effective, and Icahn became known as a champion for shareholders. He frequently argued that entrenched management teams were more interested in preserving their own positions than in acting in the best interests of shareholders. Icahn's campaigns brought attention to issues of corporate governance and accountability, and his success encouraged other investors to adopt similar activist strategies. In 2004, Icahn launched Icahn Enterprises, a diversified holding company through which he made investments in a wide range of industries, including energy, automotive, real estate, and technology. Icahn Enterprises became the vehicle for many of his high-profile activist campaigns, allowing him to acquire significant stakes in companies and push for changes that would increase their value. Icahn's involvement often led to substantial improvements in share prices, benefiting both himself and other shareholders. Icahn Enterprises grew to become one of the most successful holding companies, reflecting Icahn's ability to identify opportunities and drive value creation. High-profile campaigns and influence. Carl Icahn's influence as an activist investor only grew in the 2000s and 2010s as he took on some of the biggest names in corporate America. One of his most notable campaigns was his involvement with Apple Inc. in 2013. Icahn publicly pushed for Apple to increase its share buyback program, arguing that the company's stock was significantly undervalued given its strong financial position and cash reserves. Icahn's public pressure, along with discussions with Apple's management, eventually led to the company expanding its buyback program, which contributed to a rise in Apple's stock price and increased shareholder returns. Another high-profile campaign was Icahn's battle with eBay in 2014, where he pushed for the company to spin off its PayPal division. Icahn argued that separating PayPal from eBay would allow both companies to thrive independently and unlock greater value for shareholders. Although initially resistant, eBay eventually agreed to spin off PayPal in 2015, a move that was widely seen as a success and helped both companies grow in their respective markets. Icahn's ability to identify opportunities for value creation and push companies to act made him one of the most influential activist investors of his time. Icahn also played a significant role in the energy sector, taking stakes in companies like Chesapeake Energy and pushing for changes to improve their financial stability. His investments in companies such as Herbalife, Hertz, and Occidental Petroleum further demonstrated his ability to influence corporate strategy and create value for shareholders. Icahn's willingness to take on high-risk situations, invest in distressed assets, and demand accountability from corporate leaders made him a formidable force in the world of finance. The legacy of Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn's legacy is one of relentless activism, a commitment to holding corporate executives accountable, and a belief in the power of shareholder rights. His career has spanned over 5 decades, during which he has reshaped the landscape of corporate America and inspired a new generation of activist investors. Icahn's aggressive tactics and willingness to go against the grain earned him both admiration and criticism, but there is no denying the impact he has had on the world of investing. Icahn's emphasis on improving corporate governance, demanding transparency, and pushing for operational efficiencies has left a lasting mark on the companies he targeted. His activism has led to increased awareness of the importance of shareholder value and corporate accountability. Today, many of the practices that Icahn championed, such as shareholder activism and demanding better corporate governance, have become mainstream in the investment community. Beyond his work as an investor, Icahn has also been involved in philanthropy, contributing to medical research, education, and social causes. His charitable foundation, the Icahn Foundation, has donated millions of dollars to support causes such as medical research, healthcare, and education. Icahn's contributions to the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York led to the institution being renamed the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. His philanthropic efforts reflect his belief in giving back to society and supporting initiatives that create opportunities for future generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Carl Icahn. His fearless approach to investing, relentless pursuit of shareholder value, and willingness to challenge the status quo have left an indelible mark on corporate America. Icahn's story is a powerful reminder of the impact that one individual can have in reshaping industries and holding powerful institutions accountable. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories from the world of investing and finance.